I was just really inspired by Picot because he seems to have a different perspective on things that we normally like to have only one perspective on. And what I mean by that is he was explaining how we can become really comfortable and safe with one perspective, even if it's a painful one. Like, this is my fear, or this is my old wound, or from my childhood or something, and we protect it because it has to be that way.
Yeah.
It's always been that way, it's always going to be that way, and so we end up catering to dysfunctions in our lives without realizing it. And he said it in such a way that it's not really our fault. Like, we're not in control of everything, but we are in control of ourselves. So let's say certain things happen to you, that's not your fault. Like, if you have been hurt by someone, it's not because you deserve it. But if you keep staying in that pain and staying in that hurt, you are now the one choosing to have that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
And there was this kind of heaviness of going, you're responsible for creating your reality. You're responsible for choosing what you believe is true about you and about your life. And I thought that's so profound, but it's not always easy to do. And so one of the things I wanted to share with you was like realizing one of the best tools for me when I feel stressed out or stuck is asking, is this thing that I'm stressed about something I can control or not? And even that, just looking at, I've been stressing so much about something I can't do anything about. I've been spending all my energy, trying to change the weather or trying to change somebody else and their decisions, how they feel, but that's not in my control.
Yeah.
And when you see it, you can let it go. But if it is in your control, let's say, this is what I'm believing, this is what I'm perspectives that I'm using to look at something, or this is how I feel, that's something I can still control. And then I can ask myself questions, all right, how can I make this better? What can I do to change or to be hopeful or comforted or healed or whatever it may be that I can be in control of? So those like two questions kind of gives you your first step, your baby step.
Yeah.
Can I control it or can I not control it? What do you think about it?
Nice. Yeah, I think it's very important to look at the ways that we're seeing the world. And the idea of perspective is so important. Because, so much of life isn't in our control. And I guess I see so many people basing how they are existing and how they feel on the outside world, externals, like weather, such a big one. Like, so many people, including me, sometimes complaining, it's about to rain, I don't want this, and it's like affecting my mood.
It's ruining my day.
Nothing's like, I can't control that at all. So how can I better be with the outside world that I can't control? I think that's such a great question. Is like, okay, now what? Like, I can't control this. How do I want to proceed? Why do you think people, I guess, hold on to those stories and perspectives as you were starting out with?
I think sometimes, there's probably many reasons, but sometimes it's comforting to have a reason for your pain. Like, for example, if you had, this is a pretty extreme example, but let's say you were abused as a child. Someone in your home, someone that you is supposed to be a really trustworthy, safe person, abused you in some way. And that causes you to feel fear in certain relationships or certain situations. That fear that you feel or the anxiety that you have, it's not comfortable. And it's nice to be able to label it. I'm this way because this happened to me and someone did this to me, and so that's that. And that becomes that safe zone of, I understand this. This is how it happened. This is what happened to me. And you, like I said before, you start to cater to it, that this is how it is and how it will always be, and I'm just going to leave it there. Because addressing it can be really painful. But if you cater to it, you'll just have to survive that way, and you never get through it. It becomes something that you keep safely versus something that you just kind of let it break apart and fall to the wayside. And it sounds easy, you know, like, oh, you just go through it. But it is that responsibility of, even though this happened to me, I still create my reality in life. I still get to choose how I feel, what I do about those feelings, and how I want to change or use my present and future.
Yeah.
And like, things in the past, they don't actually exist anymore. Like, they're not happening to you right now. But sometimes when you think about it, especially your subconscious doesn't realize that it's not happening. Like, the way our brain works is a side tangent, but the way that our brain works is, when you feel something emotionally, or you think of a memory that makes you feel some way, your body doesn't know that it's not happening to you. Like, have you ever watched a movie and it's really exciting, it's like a thriller or something, and you're like, your body thinks you're like experiencing something, but you're not. You're just perceiving it. You're having an image in your mind, in your brain. That part of your brain is going, alert, and danger, excitement, adrenaline, you know, stress, cortisol, all that kind of stuff. When you have memories, like bad memories, that's the same thing. Your body thinks you're unsafe. And that's where we get what we call these like mental illnesses, or issues with imbalanced hormones, and depression or anxiety or panic attacks. Panic attacks come from your body just being stressed out all the time because it thinks it's unsafe. And a lot of that just comes from our perception of thinking of something painful or scary over and over again. And it's hard to hear, but you are in charge of that.
Yeah.
Like, you are the one who can say, I don't want to be scared anymore. I want to create safety for myself. But it starts with honesty, it starts with acceptance. Which, yeah.
I feel like there's also some element of safety, or feeling safe, in holding on to some of these older stories too. And I guess, yeah, how can we help people understand that sometimes, yeah, there is that safety in like holding on to that story, that part of us that's maybe hurt, but also see that on the other side there is like light, and like really letting go of that story, or holding on to these like certain emotions, isn't necessarily always helping us.
Yeah, you're right. It's that hope that it could be better than this. Because sometimes the survival mode is like, I'm doing okay, but there's something inside that goes, but what if it was, I was so much more alive, so much more whole. Usually I feel like healing begins when you go, I think I'm done surviving. And the healing process is part of that abundant life that you can have. But it's usually a dissatisfaction with just surviving.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that was such a big realization for me, is the like self-critical voice. And at first being like angry at it, like, why are you so critical of me? For example, maybe if I'm doing art, I might think, oh, this is a really bad drawing, I would never want to put this out there. And hearing that voice, but then realizing that it's trying to protect me, and it like came about from a young age of like, oh, if I share something with the world, maybe I'll get laughed at, and I don't like that. And so instead of being like, oh, why are you trying to like make life harder for me, seeing like, oh, it's actually trying to protect me, and how can I work with it, because it's based on this old story of, oh, if I put out this work, I'll get laughed at. That story isn't necessarily true when I actually look at it. Maybe when I was younger, I'm like, oh, that's very true, because this happened. I put it out there, I got laughed at.
It was a real experience. Yeah.
And now learning that, oh, it's actually just trying to protect me, so how can I work more with these other parts within me? And yeah, it was a lot nicer coming at it from that approach.
Yeah, it seems really gentle. A gentle way to see something versus going, oh, that needs to change, it's no good. Versus, oh, I see you. I see you, my heart trying to protect itself, and I want to help you protect me in a real way or in a new way. Seems really gentle.
Yeah.
But how did you figure that out? Like, that this was there to protect you?
Definitely had a lot of help from people. People that I listened to and work with.
Kind of holding up a mirror for you?
Yeah. Essentially that, I'll say, is probably the biggest thing. Yeah.
It's hard to see ourselves sometimes, especially things that have been there for a long time.
Totally.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. As you were saying, it's like these things become part of us. We're like, oh, this is who I am.
Yeah.
It's like so many people live by these stories that have just been there for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really cool. Really special. I think what Picot and Peepso said were really similar. It just really starts with honesty. And because you could have people hold up a mirror for you, but then you could refuse to see what you see at the same time.
Yeah.
But being able to say, okay, it might be ugly, it might be messy, it might not be what you want it to be, but it is what it is, and then you can go from there.
Yeah.
Like I think maybe I mentioned this to you the other day, but Picot also said something similar of like, if you sit and meditate for finding peace or wanting peace, what you will get is wanting. Like the craving or the wanting or the need, and then you sit there with feeling incomplete because I don't have it yet. Whereas when you look inwards at yourself to just observe or to just see reality of, oh, that's what's going on with me, like you just said, that's there to protect me. This reaction or this boundary even that I have is there for a reason, and just seeing it, not judging it for being good or bad or why it's there, why it shouldn't be there. It's just, oh, there it is. And when you're able to accept yourself, then you can make a powerful choice to change or to not change. But that is where you can find your peace versus going, I just need peace, I'm gonna throw everything else out or shut it down or something. Yeah.
So how can people figure out if they do have some perspective that isn't serving them, and then how can they like walk through all these steps of then, okay, is this true, all that stuff?
Well, one of the exercises I really love, which was almost mentioned today, is we often have a hard time knowing what we want. Like you said, like, how do I know if I have a bad perspective or if I want to change it or if I have a bad belief? Sometimes there's just little dissatisfactions in our lives, like, I don't like this thing that's happening at work. Or I don't like this topic when I'm talking to my significant other. Or there's little things that our heart is not at peace with, or that don't bring us joy. It's really easy to pinpoint things we don't like. I don't like this about myself. I don't like the way I feel when I do this. Or very easy to find the don't likes. So I have this exercise where you take a piece of paper and you draw a line down the middle and you just write down all those things you don't like. And then on the other side of that thing, you write the complete opposite of it. And those are the things that you want to go after and that you want to spend time creating, investing your energy and focusing on, like, and then it becomes a whole nother world. Instead of, oh, I wish I wasn't stressed about this anymore. What's the opposite of being stressed about it? It's maybe accepting it or looking for another opportunity, or sometimes it's just like, I don't like that I feel lazy. Well, what's the opposite of feeling lazy? Feeling inspired? Feeling motivated? And then you can start looking for things that actually inspire you or motivate you. Like, when are the times in my life where I feel fully alive? And you start focusing on that other side instead of, oh, stop being lazy, wake up early, like, you know, things that are still putting your focus and energy and intention on what you don't want.
Yeah.
Switching it completely to what you do want, and that's how you can find it, is just looking for the opposites. I do that a lot.
Amazing.
When I get stuck, I'm like, I don't like this. but I don't know what I want. And so I'll just write it down, and it takes practice to kind of like, some are easier than others. You know, you think like, oh, this should be, the opposite should be easy, but what is the opposite of fear? It's not always bravery.
Right.
Is it just you know, yeah, you can try it and see what you find.
Yeah, and I feel like the more you do it, and if it's front of mind, like, okay, I'm starting to become more aware of the places where I feel bad or like frustrated, all these things, I feel like it'll be easier to start noticing all the spots as well.
Yeah. P. Yipso said something like that. She said, if you want to learn self-love, sometimes you just start with wounds. Where do I have wounds in my heart? And then see if you can take care of those wounds, and that's how you start to create self-love for yourself.
Yeah.
Whoa. She's like, she used the word location.
Mm.
Put a pin in that location. Oh, I have a wound here.
Mm.
And then see what you can develop from there. It's kind of similar in the sense of, all right, this is what I don't want anymore.
Yeah.
Or this is what is not working out for me. What would be the opposite of that? What could be something different than that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. What do you think would make this kind of exercise or practice hardest for people?
There's like so many things that came to mind. I was thinking about people that I've coached that have done this exercise. The number one thing that they struggled with is it actually going to help me or not? And to that I just say, you know, I'm not here to convince you to do these exercises, but if you want to try something new that you've never done, go for it. What are you going to lose? A piece of paper, you know?
Right.
And no one has to see it. It's not homework. Like, you can do it and burn it, like, just to explore, try, get curious, you know? So I would say that having doubts that things aren't going to help you, you've already decided that it's not going to help you, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing might be, it's a practice to be honest with yourself, to say, okay, this is how I'm actually feeling. Things that we don't like are not always easy to admit, especially if they're of ourselves. Oh, I'm really afraid of this is not something everyone can just do for the first time. So it can be very vulnerable, can feel a little bit scary, and can be even like just elusive. Like I can't even think of anything. I know I want to think of something, but I don't, you know. But to just be really patient and know like the end goal, like what you do want is change. I don't know what kind of change, but I know that this isn't working. So let me take the time to explore, to see, and you can keep going. If the first one doesn't feel real to you, like, oh, I don't like that I'm doing this exercise or something like that, like, you know, you just keep, okay, oh, because I feel awkward and I don't like to feel awkward. You can start exploring, like, why don't I like to feel awkward? Because then I don't feel valuable. I'm afraid that people won't like me.
Yeah.
All right, why do you feel like people won't like you? Because I have a standard of being perfect that's really hard to uphold. You can just start to kind of peel back layers that were protecting you, like you said, right?
Totally.
And you start slowly, start softly. There's no perfect way to explore. And there's no right or wrong answer when you do explore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you, Max. This is fun.
This is fun.
We could keep going probably for a long time, but I think those two exercises, I think, are really great.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Awesome.